welcome back after a long time to our show, New World Wednesday. Of course, I'm Danny. Ped is with me as well. Thanks for joining me again, Ped. Nice to see you. I feels like I haven't seen you in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's about 6 weeks. I think it is about 6 weeks. Possibly 7 weeks, right?
It's been a while. I mean, I've been out fighting. You've been crafting. No, man, it's good to catch up. So, for you guys who don't know, we started with Tight Eyes as well, who is, I think, currently playing Forza somewhere. He's lost in other games at the moment. But me, Ped, and Tight started New Year Wednesday. I don't even know. I think we're on episode 26 or something at this point. We've done weeks and weeks and weeks of New Year Wednesday, way before the launch. And basically, when launch happened, I personally was just completely tied up. Every Wednesday night was a war. Every Tuesday night, every Thursday night, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday were war days, and it was absolutely crazy. Plus the leveling, plus everything else. Beast Mama says, the first time I've seen your face, Ped. She clearly didn't watch our previous episodes, Ped.
Unbelievable. We've been doing this for we started this in, December last year?
Yeah.
January last year. It's nearly a year, Beast Mama.
Disappointed.
Unbelievable.
So the plan tonight, basically me and Ped are really going to have a bit of a catch up. We're going to chat about what's happened since launch, from kind of my perspective, from his perspective. We're going to talk about our server. There's been our server's been interesting. It's been fun. It's been busy. It's been popular. It's been crazy. We're going to talk about our experience with the queues, our experience with the bugs, and then of course, hopefully by the end of this, the PTR will be up. The public test realm will be up and running, and we can kind of send you guys off into play with the Void Gauntlet. That is hopefully the plan. And as always, we'll try and keep this to about an hour. Try. But there's been a lot gone on.
It's definitely been a lot more than an hour's content, that's for sure.
I mean, I don't know if this is possible, but do you want to try and sum up your experience of New World from launch to present day? Try to.
In the immortal words of Vinnie Jones, it's been emotional.
It fucking has been emotional. It has been emotional. I mean, what have you been focusing more of? I mean, I know, but tell everyone what you've been focusing your energy on. What have you been enjoying? What haven't you been enjoying?
Well, you know, I've barely played the actual game. I think I made it into. Where was it you were the other day where I came and joined you, and I was like, I haven't been here yet. It's 6 weeks in and I still haven't been here.
Well, we were on a chess run up north and we did some.
Shattered Mountains, yeah. Hadn't been there. I still haven't been to. No, it was Eden Grove, wasn't it? I've been to Shattered Mountain now. I don't think I've been to Morningdale yet. I've not been to Ebonscale Reach yet. I only made it to Reekwater like last week.
And why is this? Tell us why.
Mostly the same old shit. Just spending my life moving materials between storage and being encumbered. And I realised how shit that is. I just did it for 6 weeks.
So to put it into some perspective, what we tried to do, and it has been working. So credit to you guys that are in what we called our Logi team. Ped basically was heading that up, and you were doing Arcana and jewel crafting, really. So a lot of the guys were feeding Ped some materials, and then Ped was feeding stuff out, and it was basically, from what I've heard, is a bit of a logistical nightmare. It's been really tough to manage because the game just doesn't support you.
No, and I remember, there was a group of us and we tested the hell out of this in closed beta, right? Because we wanted to see whether it was possible. Yeah. And, on closed beta, that was emotional. Just in 10 days, it was horrendously emotional. So, we lost people. We lost QT and some other people that were like, fuck doing that for release. I just want to go and do some PvP. So we were like, okay, well, we know there's people that want to do some PvE, PvX. They want a PvP eventually, but there is the crafting element to the game, and there were people that wanted to get involved, and so we chatted about it. Remember, you were like, no, we need to do PvP, and I went, okay, well, give me like 30 people, we'll try something, see if we can make it work or not, and that was the plan. and we lost a load of people in the first 3 days because they spent their life in queues. So the Logi team had 30 people on paper, but in reality we probably had about 15 people in game. And then when the other people did get in, I think they lasted no more than a week. Some of the some of the best gatherers we had in closed beta, I've not seen since like day 5. I don't think they've logged back into the game. So we lost loads of people. So we ended up with probably half that number, and then it just became it was just hard. And we got a number of the primary crafters up to 200. We've got that madman Hell's Bunnies who doesn't know how to stop gathering. So that's cool. So there were some good things, and we achieved what we sort of set out to achieve. But Trust and I talked about it a lot, and we were talking about it just now. You need to run the company like a communist society if you want to do it properly, but the game's not really geared to enable that particularly well. So you'd have to have a really autocratic company approach where every single person, everything they did was donated to the company, and then the company took that, turned it into something, and then dished it out to everybody. And that's the game just can't support that. So that's cool, but and that's why we've seen the changes that have happened over the last 3 or 4 days. Just do some different stuff, but equally it's like you were saying, we haven't played the game together for 6 weeks. We spent pretty much every hour of preview playing the game, and then the first couple of hours or first couple of days of closed beta. But since then, I don't think that chess run I came on with you was the first time I'd done something with you. Yeah, in 6 weeks. So I think, like you said, let's just play the game and have some fun now.
We won't dive into it. I'd love to talk more about like what we want to see from the game. Clearly, like guild, chest, and storage and stuff like that. There's so many stuff that would support smaller clans and big clans, but we'll get into that another time, and hopefully, things will happen.
Exactly, and that's just the stuff that was happening for us, right? But you throw in all of the external things to Pirate Gaming that happened on our server in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And to call it a clusterfuck would be polite. So, it has been emotional, mate. Been emotional.
So Ped was kind of leading like our Logi team and kind of supporting crafting side and figuring all that out, and that's been like really difficult. And then from a PvP side, for you guys that haven't caught up with us, it has literally been non-stop from day one. So there is a list of names of people that have done so much for our company from the start that I can't even list it. A couple of names that you would know, obviously, Kang has been leading like an absolute machine. Banana 2 has been leading like an absolute trooper. And everyone else that's kind of filtered in and worked with these guys to make our company amazing has meant that we've had well over 25 wars now. I got 25 wins achievement, and we've obviously had some losses as well. But it has been non-stop. Obviously, Mumi's been leading loads of siege wars, and now we've got some new shot callers coming in. Thunder's been doing very well. Iron came in yesterday, and he wasn't even part of the company, or the day before wasn't even part of the company yet, and he shot called a third war that we had on the same day. Sheng, Roger, mega healers, Tempest if he's still around somewhere. It's just been incredible, man. People have been doing mad things, and it has been non-stop fighting since day one, basically every single day. And every single day, Beast Mama, for example, working with you guys on the Logi team, and obviously herself as well, providing food for. It's been fucking nuts, man. It has been full on. I thought we were gonna chill and do a couple of wars here and there, but it was it has been absolutely crazy. I won't dive too much into it, but our kind of story, and it will lead on to what we're doing next, how our server is. The way we approached the launch of the game, and the reason why we didn't do any newer Wednesdays was pretty much because we were just full on. And for me, I've kind of been streaming in the mornings, and then in the evenings spending some time with the company and playing off stream together with the boys. And I think that's really important for me. But what we did was we never bought any territories. We let everyone else buy the main two zones. They paid all the money, they did all the upgrades, and we jumped in and we took Monarch's Bluff. And what we were hoping for was a lot of open world PvP like we had in the preview and the open beta and all that sort of stuff, and it just didn't really happen. So we got together one day and we said, fuck it, we'll throw everything into war. And we threw everything into war on the whole day. And I think out of 6 wars, 3 of them were at the same time. We took four zones off the same community, and that hurt them. That struck them hard, I think. And a lot of things happened after that. To the point Asmongold knows my name now as a cheater. He knows me, boys. He knows me. Fuck you, Asmongold. So that was really cool. It was quite tough. Like mentally, it was quite tough to deal with that. There was a lot of abuse came in, and it was interesting. And once we dealt with that as a community, that was really nice. That brought us together. And we're now in a position where we've owned Everfall and Windswood for a long time. I think we've had well over 2 million gold come in. We're now just fighting between each other on how to spend the money and what to spend it on and how to do things correctly. So yeah, that's kind of been our journey in like a real quick nutshell. And what I personally decided over the last 24 hours is what I want to do is get back to playing more games with people like Ped, people like Fry, Trust, Hermes, people that I really enjoyed playing with before the game launched. And we've kind of all taken on these leadership roles, and then we're working with people below us and with us, and we just haven't gamed together. So we're going to try and change these things. And if we lose a war, because I need to do New Wednesday, we lose a war, or I don't. The boys are probably better without me, to be honest. I just speak a load of shit that makes no sense. Oh yeah, Ped, look at this. I bought this with suggestions from the boys. It's an actual proper microphone that should be able to deal with my abuse that I give it screaming into the microphone. So hopefully I shouldn't peak out when I scream in a war. I got so many things coming that will hopefully fix it. So yeah, new things basically.
But they're not going to fix you. But to be fair, I was watching Carnage's stream last night, and he was like, Danny gives us having Danny in the war doing what Danny does. He's like, that gives us 20% advantage. Said it gets everyone psyched. And I think that's true, right? I think some of your naysayers were saying, God, he's a terrible shot caller, he's just talking bollocks. I mean, we all know you talk bollocks, but it's hyped up bollocks. So it gets people's adrenaline going, right? And if people's adrenaline's going, they're probably a bit better. The fast twitch muscles are working. They're probably a bit better at fucking mashing the keyboard. So yeah, it's worked, right? I remember when we had with the sort of when we all sat down and said, look, we had a world first take in Everfall in the preview. I think we managed to do it in closed beta, right? Yeah. And we were like, do we want to do it for a release? Like, and we were kind of like, it would be nice to do it for a release because it would claim the Triple Crown. But then we were like, yeah, but we know we'll blow 100k on it, and then go into the first war and it could be a bit of a lottery and you could end up losing it and you've lost all that money. So we were like, okay, let's just spend the 15k to war deck whoever gets it. And obviously that was an absolute lag fuck fest of a shit show that was just disastrous. And then the decision was, right, let's just give it a week or two. Because we ended up letting them have it for a couple of weeks, didn't we? I think they had 3 statements.
It was tough because the wars were really laggy at the start, so we decided not to go on the offense.
Yeah, remember that war? So I remember watching it. From how we had all sort of talked about previously how to attack Everfall, and I was on comms listening, and people were going, Tight Eyes was going, I'm not getting healed. What's happening? I'm not getting healed. And people were like, I'm dropping my heals on you, and I'm not getting healed. And so the sieges weren't working. Much. Sieges weren't working. Heals were 50-50. There was so many things that were just wrong. So it's like, we'll go after Everfall in a couple of weeks' time. And I think, they had it for 3 weeks. So they had 3 statements, didn't they? And then obviously that Super Saturday where he went rinsed Everfall, Windswood, and a couple of other locations. And we haven't looked back since then.
Yeah. No, it's been good. I can see some good messages coming in. I feel sorry for Dan's neighbours. Yeah. Do you know what? I actually know my neighbour this side behind my PC, and he says sometimes I can hear you screaming, but it sounds really fun. And I told him about the stream, and he came in and watched it. He's like, okay, I get it, because he loves Call of Duty and that as well, so he can feel the hype. But Kit saying she feels sorry for Mitzi. I think I genuinely have given her an actual headache a couple of nights. I'm like, I'm sorry. Just can't help myself. Even when I try and stay quiet, it doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm sorry for everyone who's had to deal with my earache dealing with me shouting. But new microphones coming, and yeah, I'm hoping the wars will continue to be good fun. And I think one thing that I've discussed with Kang, and we won't talk too much about this, but for us it's getting back to having fun. Like we've proven that we're pretty good at the game, and one thing that, talking about our server, how is a mentee? Right now, the server is absolutely popping. There is queues, there is PvP. Like today, we had about 2 hours of PvP outside Everfull, just fighting people, like constantly. And all I see on YouTube videos is, oh, the game's dying, and oh, there's no PvP. And it's like, our server has got to that point now where, people are telling me they're coming to the server to fight us. They're coming because, not we, but the everyone on our servers created a really great environment, and yeah. So as far as how is a mentee, it's fucking nuts. It's so good. It's so good. So I have to get you stuck in a bit more, Ped. Get you out.
Well, yeah, but mate, it's like I think that's the thing. Like, I don't know, because we've had crikey, we're nearly up to 300 people, right? We've had a insane number of people apply to join Pirate Gaming over the 6 weeks for the recruitment nights. But we go back 14 months ago to preview last year, and whoever, because I'm trying to think who was around then that's still around now, we PvP'd non-stop, right? And it was balanced though.
Yeah.
And there was, but there was a lot of open world PvP with him, wasn't there? And we spent the whole. It's like the other day when we went on that portal run up in Shattered Mountain. We were like, "Shit, dude, this is the first time we've done this since we literally did this every day on preview a year ago." And it was like, wowzers. So it's an MMO, right? Hopefully it'll be around for a bit longer. So for me, that's why we did the whole Logi thing. It was like, I'm going to do some other parts of the game, because PvP is always going to be there. It's not going to go away, and I'll get stuck in once I've finished making jewelry.
Yeah.
But so there's some of the things that are coming out in the patch notes or the release notes. There's definitely some really positive changes on the table, and there's a lot of things that they can do over the next 6 months, right? So the map that we look at now, we know is going to get bigger. The dynamic, we were talking about it earlier, the dynamic of the map would change massively. Like Everfull and Windswood, we always knew were the two locations to own from a money-making perspective, right? And they are. Even with the changes that are going to come in linked markets, I don't think that's fundamentally going to change the economics. What will change the economics, though, is making the map bigger and making other regions more important by virtue of where they're located, and that's the thing that could have an impact on Everfull. So if that map grows to the north, east and west, and Everfull's suddenly down at the bottom, then other settlements will become much more important in the future. So yeah, might as well cream it in while the going's good, because at some point we'll probably lose Everfull and Windswood, right? So
yeah. Well, what we're going to be talking about in a minute with the PTR that's coming out and the test that should be happening now. Now, what's going on, New World? Come on, stick to it. I can't get out of running. Is this whole change with the whole market system? But Banana there saying I'm 100% down to just throw Everfull so we can chill. Sheng saying sell Everfull for 500k. I think what's really interesting is that this might allow us, let's say, we take the whole of our community up to Morningdale or down to Cutler's Keys, and we just hold a settlement at the top left or bottom right, something like that, where we can just chill and be on our own. And if we really want to, we can upgrade 1 or 2 things here or there. But if we all trade together from one settlement, we could really generate an income just from our community. I really hope these changes are awesome, and that's just like one change. We won't dive too much into changes because I want to.
What do you think about the wars though? Because it was in one of the dev posts earlier was it last week, where they had been looking at all the data that they were getting from across all the servers, and they felt that wars and invasions sat within their tolerance. And we've, like, Banana's always moaning about the PvP, sort of, I guess, the guys that have just been hardcore PvP from the start getting a bit of sort of war fatigue. And it is every couple of days, right? And then you've got invasion to throw in, and then at the moment, because invasions are balked, it's a pain in the arse always getting shit downgraded. And obviously there was that glorious Reddit post where someone pumped out some of that magical misinformation around, don't bother fighting the invasion and you won't have everything downgraded. It's like, no, fuck nuts. You lose all the shit based on how big your settlement is. And guess what? Pirate Gaming and Everfall is, we get one station level away from it becoming a capital city every fucking time. And then there's an invasion and we lose like 7 or 8 stations.
80,000 every time, yeah.
When we still haven't hit it being a capital yet, which we need to do, which means we need to win an invasion until they fix the invasion mechanics. We're not going to win an invasion, so that's going to be slightly irritating. Do you think that they might revisit the wars and maybe extend the window between wars, or do you think they'll keep it as it is? Because it was mentioned in that dev blog, and I've sort of found it quite interesting.
I think they will leave it as it is, based on what I read and what I think they'll leave it as it is. Reason being, like you've said there, typically when we're running Everfall or Windswood, we do put in 50 people that have played together, and what they want to see is that fatigue. They want to see us be like, fuck this, I don't want to fight another war. Putting in some fresh faces, and when you put in fresh faces that haven't played together, that allows for margin of error. It'll be a bit bigger. So what we have seen, the wars now are less laggy, and it's fucking fantastic. The last 3 wars we've had, little to no lag, even if you're full stacked. It's been awesome. But what that has shown is that the attack is more possible because assuming you can take 1 point, you respawn closer to the point. You don't come all the way back from the war camp and blah blah blah. And that constant stacking on the point, the lag isn't there, so the kills can happen. And what we've seen anyway is that every time the less lag there is, the further forward enemies get. And that might sound kind of weird, but against the good company like Covenant were good before they went away, and Disaster that are currently against us now, they're really good players as well. Like, individually they're great. So I don't know, man. I don't think they'll change the way the war is. I think they'll keep it as is, and I think that they'll push for people to get tired. I think people want to get tired, and then we'll lose the territory, and then someone else will pick it up, and then someone else will come in and fight for it, and it'll keep that rotation of the land. But I would love to see Everfall as a full capital, man. It's like an achievement. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we did it, man. We fully upgraded everything, but
that's because Strife said, why do we need it to be a capital? And it's like, because we can.
It's fucking cool, man. It's cool.
Like,
that would be awesome.
You walk into Everfall and every single station is tier 5, and you're like, yeah, we've gone big balls in Everfall, sweet. And then you can defend it against an invasion. But it's quite interesting. One of the things that, from watching lots of different POVs during all the wars over the last 6 weeks, it's funny how, if you recall a year ago on preview, like, we were like, Jesus, man, Siege is so important.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Covenant didn't seem that interested in Siege as we saw for the first few weeks. And then they finally sort of thought, maybe we should take their Siege out before we put our Siege down. And then obviously Syndicate have come in, and they do that. So like in all the 4 wars that we've had in the last week against Syndicate, they don't even have like a roaming group of a 10-man group, do they? A 10-person group. They literally just zerg 50 people and go and blat all the Siege, right? Because no shit, because the Siege does a load of damage and you need to get rid of it. But then it becomes really interesting just watching the battles for the point, because I think it was the war was it 4 nights ago, a weekend? I can't remember. I can't remember if it was Everfull or Windswood, but they hadn't capped a point, and then you guys were pushing them back into their camp, and then suddenly they'd capped all the points, and you were defending inside the fort, right? And it was really interesting to watch, because for like the last 5 or 6 minutes of your stream, because I think you were streaming it was like everyone just took their foot off the gas massively.
Yeah, it's easy to do that.
And then but in that really short space of time, you were all on the point going, fuck, they literally could take Everfull, because we've just put our thumbs up our asses for 10 seconds and we've shit the bed massively. Whereas last night, watching all the wars, you didn't take your feet off the gas, and they didn't get into the fort, right? So it is noticeable. But like, it's like Carnage said, you know, he keeps saying it when I've watched his streams. He's like, this is fucking intense, man. Because it is, you are button mashing for 30 minutes non-stop, right? And if you don't button mash for 2 or 3 minutes in there, that's all they need to get into the fort and cap a point.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating. But yeah, I mean, it will be interesting, I think, over the next sort of run into Christmas and the New Year, with the proposed changes that we think could be on the table, on top of the ones we know that are on the table.
For sure. I mean, the big changes that are coming, if you guys haven't heard of them, one is when you flag for PvP, there'll be a bonus for luck now, and when you also flag for PvP, you will take less durability damage, less damage to your gear when you die. So there's one, it'll be cheaper now that the changes have come already. It's cheaper to respec and stuff. That's really great, so you can change your builds, but also just flagging for PvP will give you a luck bonus, plus save you some money on gear repair. So that in itself is 2 massive changes, which will hopefully come through. And in a minute, we'll go through very briefly, because I did it this morning on stream, but we'll go through and get your opinions paired on some of the changes, or some of the upcoming things potentially that they're dropping out into the PTR. But I've got here, so that is kind of an update on Amenti and where we're at with our server. The server is fantastic. The people in the server are fantastic. There's so many more clans coming into Covenant. There's more coming to Marauders. We're hoping we just see a few more people with us. At the moment, we've been the only real green team on Marauders since launch, so that would be super cool to see. Some
definitely.
more people.
I think that'll be a big one if we see some other Marauder companies, you know, get properly involved, own a couple of settlements. Because if that happens, then from a market economy perspective, then that's where we can get into kind of sensible faction market activity, where we can maybe help other settlements make money. Because you know, as we found, right, when you turned the majority of the map green, it's shit owning pretty much all the other settlements outside of Everfull and Windswood, right? Because to upgrade them so they're worth being in costs a shitload of money, as we know from Everfull and Windswood. But you need to make a shitload of money to keep the city running, and then it gets to a point where there's no point upgrading stuff because you end up losing money. So I hope they do somehow come up with a mechanism to improve that mechanic, where it's not all about owning Everfull, basically.
Yeah, well, that is hopefully gonna become a change sooner rather than later. I guess before we get on to I don't know if we want to talk about. I don't really want to talk about bugs. The bugs are there. The exploits have been there. It is what it is. I thought it might be nice to brush over it, but quite frankly, if you go on YouTube and type in New World at the moment, it's just fucking negativity everywhere. And I think the PTR and the last change that have happened has been really positive. Obviously, at this present moment in time, we haven't gone in to see if the Void Gauntlet will make you fly through the air or some fucking crazy stuff, you know. Something dodgy will probably happen, but at the moment, there's it's going in a positive direction. So I'm really happy. Before we get on to actually looking at the PTR changes, one thing that has changed, I guess, for me, more than anything else at the moment is kind of my RL. So if it's going to show up for me, come on. And my kind of involvement with Studio Loot. So if you guys haven't seen, I joined the Studio Loot team just like during launch of New World. These guys put together the New World fans website, and since 10 days ago, all of us kind of had this opportunity really to push pretty much full time into streaming, as well as I still do a lot of drone jobs on the side, but a lot of it is you see me during the days now. So my days are streaming, and then my evenings are currently managing drama in game. But it's supposed to be creating some YouTube content and pushing kind of myself forward, and I've really loved that opportunity. So even Mitzi helped me with an edit. Oh well, she didn't help me with an edit, she fucking did the edit, and I told her what I liked and what I didn't like. So on my YouTube now, we just put out like a typical day in the life of doing an edit, like outside of gaming. So that was for a recent film that we shot. So if you guys are interested in that, go and check out the newer fan site. I'm going to show you in a second 2 new things that we're bringing out. One, I'll say Taken is an absolute genius. He's a genius. So there is the gear score tracker that's come out on the site. And the builds have been updated. Salary, please. You get paid in cookies and hugs. until one day maybe we do this forever. So let me jump across to the website. So firstly, for you guys that are working on your watermark and are keeping tracks on this, on the website, if you head to, I'll put the link now for you. If you wanted to use it, it saves you creating your own spreadsheet or things like that. You can update your watermark here depending on the drops that you get and all that sort of stuff. Ped, I'm sorry, I haven't figured out this screen because, well, yeah, I'm a noob, so we'll just roll with it. Sorry.
We got Tight Eyes window below.
Did you see the spinny loop? He's there somewhere, man. He's there in the internet somewhere. Imagine if it came up. That would be great. Playing Forza. So this is where you can go. You can track your gear score and keep that up to dated. And it also has areas of where you can level up your watermark. One thing that I actually only noticed this morning was the builds that have come to the website. So you can create solo builds, group builds, and this is Taken might be mad at me for sharing it so soon, but this is something that he's working on. So we can kind of put together group scenario builds or outpost rush builds and kind of have team comps essentially set up. So keep an eye on this, boys. This is awesome, and this is all part of me working with the boys at Studio Loot, so it's fucking fantastic. So go and check that out, and this helps keep us all going basically. So share this shit, which I know everyone is, but go and check this out because this is going to be fantastic.
It looks cool. Taken's been busy. I remember chatting to him in the first week, and he was like, "God, I'm so busy with the website." He still got to 60 before I did because he was actually able to walk around Eternum. I just fucking stood still because I couldn't move because I was encumbered. The usual shit. I forgot there was. I'm really, the one thing that has made me more sad than anything in the last 6 weeks was when I was level 59 and I had a quest to put in for like 1200 and something XP, and there was 19 XP. There would have been 19 XP left over if I hadn't had an epic fail moment, and I was gonna capture what I was doing. I was gonna empty the Everfull bank, and then I was going to put a quit announcement in Discord and say, I've got to this level, I've got 19 XP left, I've completed the game, I'm done.
Man, I'd have been so sad.
Yeah, but and I was going to film it all, and I was talking to Hermes at the time, and I went, right, I'm just going to do it, and I handed my fucking quest in into First Light, and it leveled me to 60 because I had fucking XP bonuses in First Light. I was like, shit. It'd been the most glorious moment ever.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
Fantastic.
sad times. No doing that again.
I'll show you one last thing. I actually helped put this one together. Me and Tulu. Props to Tulu for kind of helping me get all this up. But BDLG's managed to get it on the website and link it to all the different items and things like that. So well worth a look. And there's my hello guys, what an idiot on the website. So yeah, go check that out, boys. So quickly, we'll blast through the PTR quick. The guys in chat are saying go and check your PTRs, boys. You might be able to update it right now. But what you're gonna find in the PTR is number 1, the Void Gauntlet. You excited for the Void Gauntlet, Ped?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think everyone's pretty excited. I think
I'm scared.
Yeah, but do you remember the one thing that we've not seen any of? Well, we sort of saw a little bit of it with Covenant because they thought it was the right meta and it plainly wasn't. But they didn't do it like people had. Do you remember when we used to fight Balance in preview last year? They used to have a load of fire mages that played Incinerate and Flamethrower, and they would stand on the point just rinsing people, and we were like, that's ridiculous. Not seen any of that this time round, and I think the Void Gauntlet could be something that might bring that meta back into play now, because that used to be epic, having mages in heavy gear just flamethrowing everything and then dropping Incinerate. So this could, because it scales off int and focus, so there's some healing component there, but it could make melee mage, a fire melee mage, a bit of more of a thing again, which would be cool. Because you could send them in onto the point with the tanks and just get them flamethrowing everything, which would look wicked. Or just add more lag, probably.
I mean, I'm scared because at the moment you can see Lifestaff users taking on 5-6 people, sometimes 10 people if it's the right kind of build. Scooby, Sheng, I'm looking at you guys, nutters. So I'm definitely scared about the Void Gauntlet supporting that Lifestaff and being a little bit mad, but we'll see. We'll do some testing. Obviously, we have some new enemy types coming in, a new variety of enemies, new enemy quests, new legendary weapon quests, which is cool. They've improved the main storyline. A massive thing for me is the new PvP quests, so new control points. These missions send you out to capture control of the forts. I'm hoping this is the actual forts that we currently go out to fight for and control, because that would be fantastic. There's Intercept, where you collect enemies' tears. We do that already. These changes, right, they are definitely very cool, but they also, do you remember we had that episode, I don't know which episode it was, where we were talking about things you think we'd like to see that would be wicked, where we talked about, imagine you had a caravan laden with like gear that you transported between settlements, but to do it you had to flag as a group of X number of players, PvP flagged, and you could get attacked and they could steal all of the gear off you. Now imagine that was gear that you made as a company and you had to take it to another settlement, and then you could get basically attacked by a load of bandits and robbed. So this sort of thing, the way they seem to be tweaking the PvP faction missions, could at some point in the future lend itself to introducing something like that, which would be awesome. I mean, it'd be awesome, right? Because that would force the biggest complaint that we'd had, I think everyone had at the start of the first few weeks, was the lack of open world PvP, right? Now imagine there were some really, really juicy targets and it was like, shit, you need to be flagged to go and attack those. Then suddenly everyone's flagged. And you're like, oh my god, there's too much open world PvP now. Take it away. well, I don't know what Intercept means. Maybe they have brought something unlike this. So apparently the PTR is being downloaded as we speak. So by this time tomorrow, what's the time now? It's like nearly 10 o'clock. I'm going to jump on tonight. We're going to check it out, and we will update you guys as soon as we know what these are.
Are you downloading it? I've already got 20. I've got 22 gig of it.
Oh, I haven't yet. I'm going to get it downloaded as soon as we switch back screens. And then finally the Waterloo camp. And then the big change is what we've been speaking about today is the trading post update. So to basically explain it, fees for buy and sell orders are defined by the settlement that you're posting from. Additionally, transaction taxes on purchases you make are defined by the settlement you are in. We can go off and hide up in Morningdale should we so wish, and completely trade from there, and then have our trading hub in Everfall until we manage to bring enough trade up to another town. So this is going to change so much, and it's pretty damn exciting. So yeah, excited. I mean, that kind of wraps up our first New Year Wednesday back after like 6 weeks. Before we go, do you guys have any questions that you want to ask us? I mean, I know there's possibly a lot of PTR questions, but we haven't had a chance to play it yet, the same as you guys. So we're going to jump on and play it now. But I did see a question from Sequential, I think, asking about the Pyro Gaming clans. We do currently have 3 Pyro Gaming clans. We've got 2 kind of OG clans that are both under the same name. So you can't tell the difference. You don't really know which one you're in. And that was for kind of our more serious players. And then we had friends of friends that wanted to join. And then we created Pyro Gaming Community Clan, which is a bit more chill. And that's kind of where they've come from, basically.
Which is ironic, seeing as you were like, you're not going to do a community clan because it's going to be 2 clans, it's going to be hardcore. And then it was like, okay, there's too many people, and there's some people that just want to play the game and have fun and not be hardcore douchebags. And okay, well, let's make a community clan. I mean, we had 4 on preview in the end, didn't we? 4 or 5?
You're going into the Matrix, Ped. Come back.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What's going on
dude?
there?
Whoa, man. Whoa, shit, man. You transporting into the PTR, boy. Oh, shit. Wait, that's cool. What was that? I've never seen that in my life.
It's internet. I don't know, mate.
That was pretty cool.
I'm in the Matrix, remember?
Beam me up. He's being beamed up. Oh my god. Yeah, so that was the plan. It was not to have more than 2. And then we went we still have like 40 slots now between 1 and 2. But we wanted to create a space. We had a lot of people that were really chill and just didn't want to get involved in any sort of mad PvP or anything like that. So we created that for that. And then we put kind of everyone new who joined in there to kind of make it a bit more fun and friendly. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Ped is disappearing again. Don't leave me like this, Ped.
Oh, sorry. It's because I've just booted the game up.
Confirms what I always thought. Ped is an AI. I've made myself a friend, boys. I was so lonely, I made Ped. Oh, Ted, did we miss you? Of course we missed you, man.
Ah, what's happened?
Mate, I'm downloading. I love my internet.
It's because you're downloading. Why?
All right. Well, they should just make local trade at lower cost and global trade at some extra coin. That could work. I'm pretty happy with what they're suggesting so far. Shane. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, my PC might blow up. I'm running the PTR as well as the. There's no server up.
Apparently not. Yeah, I got a few minutes to download, but yeah. So the plan is to do this and come back again every week, every Wednesday night. I think if we have a war, I'll try and do it after the war. Or before the war. But I'm going to do my best.
No. We should do it during the war, right? And you can shot call, and I'll ask you fucking really stupid questions
during the shot call.
Really annoy you. That'll be amazing.
Mid-war Nuo Wednesday, yeah. Yeah, so we'll be back again next Wednesday. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. It's been. I was really nervous coming back on. Actually, it's been a while, so hopefully it didn't fuck too many things up, and yeah, we'll try and get back into the swing of things and be back here every Wednesday and just chat some shit about New World.
Yeah, and that was so because remember we talked about this many months ago about what we would do when we went to release, and obviously we didn't do any of that because it's taken us 6 weeks to get back to doing a New World Wednesday. But so if people we want to, if we can get content, and we were going to have like a sort of a segment where maybe we had epic fails or some comedy moments in game. So if people have got any videos recorded where clips of them doing dumb shit or funny stuff, send them in kind of thing, and we would put them up, and we'd talk about that sort of stuff, and then we were going to have a weekly roundup of what's happened across pirate gaming, in Eternum.
That would be cool.
Whether we've lost wars and things. So yeah, definitely we'll try and get things back on track.
Love it. Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I'm just going to for Avanis. He's been fantastic. Fire us into a moat only mode, and we'll wrap it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ped, thanks again, man. Guys, if you want to keep in touch, please go and check out the New Fans website. If my things are gonna work, which it isn't. Son of a bitch, nothing works. Here's my Discord. Keep in touch, and here's the Pirate Gamer Discord. We'll be popping some things out there. We have recruitment nights coming up, all that good stuff. And make sure you check out the Studio Loot YouTube channel, because once a week you'll see my face on there putting out a video. So check it out. Ped, thanks again, bro. I appreciate your time, and everyone else joining. Thank you. I appreciate you all joining us.
Good to do it again.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.